The next part of lesson 4A is reading this story called Battery Power. And it says this is an experiment. It tells you how to make a battery similar to the one Alessandro Volta made. So the person that we read about in the first part of lesson 4A. The chemical reaction of salt and vinegar in the presence of copper and zinc make electricity flow through a wire. So this is an experiment so that we will see steps and things that you need to do in order for this experiment to be successful. So, battery power. It says, find 12 copper coins and zinc washers of the similar size. They will need to be stacked. Cut out 12 same-size circles of blotting paper. Pour vinegar into a glass with a tablespoonful of salt. Soak each piece of blotting paper in the mixture. Stack a coin, then a washer, on a piece of blotting paper. Finish with a washer. Take 6.5 feet of thin plastic-coated copper wire. Coil it tightly around an iron nail as many times as you can. Attach one end of the copper wire to the bottom coin and the other end to the top washer. Test your battery by bringing the nail close to a small compass. The nail should make the compass needle swing. Why it works. The salt and vinegar start a chemical reaction. Okay, remember, chemical reactions are something that cause an item or whatever material you use to change it into something else. So remember when we did the exploding pumpkins, okay, we had the vinegar and hydrogen peroxide, okay, and we made them kind of explode in a sense. So that's what they're talking about, kind of a chemical reaction, some change is occurring. Negatively charged particles flow through coins to the washers, around the wire coil, and back to the battery. The electric current creates a magnetic field that affects the compass needle. Now remember, there's a little 1 here. Okay, what does that mean? That means there's a definition at the bottom of our page, or it's giving us some information that we need to know. So right here, when it's talking about negatively charged particles, it says the negatively charged particles are bits of matter called electrons. Okay, so our close reader habits. What steps and materials are needed to make the battery? Reread the text, circle the words and phrases. This is a relatively easy close reader habit. Okay, I'll start you off, but I feel you all could easily finish this up in 2 seconds. Okay, it wants steps and materials. So anywhere you see steps and materials, which is almost the whole thing, you're going to circle it. So 12 copper coins and washers. A step, cut out 12 same-size circles. Another step, pour the vinegar into a glass. Okay, with a tablespoon of salt. Another step, soak each paper, the blotting paper in the mixture. Stack. Okay, and it kind of continues on, a coin, then a washer. All right, so I did paragraphs 1 and 2 for you. You can easily, because you guys have mastered this type of stuff, I have confidence that you can find all the steps and materials. Okay, look in paragraphs 3, 4, and 5. There is nothing in paragraph 6. I will give you that hint. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, please take a moment to pause the video and do that. If you have done it, you can continue right on. So with our next part of Ready New York, we always get the questions that move on to multiple choice answers. Okay, we usually fill out a few charts. Then when we read the story, we have multiple choice, and we will have a little bit of a short response for this one. So it says use what you learned from reading the technical text. Remember, this whole lesson is scientific texts and technical text. Scientific is relating to science and nature. Technical text tells you how to do something. This was telling us how to do something. In this case, an experiment. So it says use what we learned to respond to the following questions. Part A. We've seen this many times, folks. Okay? We know how to do this. We have to answer part A. in order to answer part B. So which statement best, they even put it in bold for you, describes how an electric current affects a compass? So if we're looking at our answers here, okay, the electric current goes from a wire into the compass. Well, no, it didn't talk about going into the compass, okay? The electric current works only with thin copper wire. Keyword here, only. Did it say anything about that? No, it didn't say it only works with copper wire. Okay, what if you had thick copper wire? We don't know. The electric current makes the compass needle move. Ah, now, we did read something that mentioned this. And the last one, the electric current causes the nail to swing near the compass. Well, did it say the nail would swing? No. And this is where we don't be lazy. Okay, my friends? Right in this text, it says right at the bottom, okay, of paragraph 5, test your battery by bringing the nail close to a small compass. The nail should make the compass needle swing, not the nails. Okay, so make sure you're not going too fast. Okay, so that gets rid of D, leaves us with C. Now we're going to use C, and we're going to find the sentences that relate to this. Okay, now it says two. That means I'm going to have two answers. Now, if your book does not say two, because sometimes my books are slightly different than yours, then you will find the one that matches in your copy. And usually they just shortened it and you'd have to find one. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do two, because that's a good skill that we need to know even if our questions don't match up 100%. So which two sentences best show the relationship made in part A? So we said the electric current makes the compass needle move. Now, we see pour vinegar into a glass with a tablespoon of salt. Well, that was in the beginning, and that doesn't really tell me how it makes the compass needle move, so I'm going to get rid of that. Coil it tightly around an iron nail as many times as you can. All right, again, important. We're getting closer, okay, but that's not telling me how the needle moves. Attach one end of the copper wire to the bottom coin and the other to the top washer. No, doesn't really tell me anything about it moving. The nail should make the compass needle swing. If the compass needle is swinging, well, that means it's moving. Okay, compass needle move. Swinging is moving. So this could be a possible answer. The salt and vinegar start a chemical reaction. Well, that's true. Is that what causes the compass needle to move? No. All right, so it says two sentences and I'm left with two answers. Does that mean I should just pick D and F and say they're right? No. We need to double check because you never know. Sometimes there's something that might have been a little tricky and we missed it. So F, the electrical current creates a magnetic field that affects the compass needle. This word right here, affects, means it's doing something to the compass needle. What do we need? The compass needle moving. Okay, so it's going to affect the compass needle. That's a movement. Swing is a movement. So yes, we didn't make any mistakes. D and F should be our answers. Okay. 2. You guys are going to do this on your own. You can actually leave your answer in the comment box if you would like to, or email it to me. But this is pretty straightforward. Okay? Think about it as if you were doing something. So it says, reread the steps to make the test battery. Why is it important to follow the steps in order? Okay? What would happen if you didn't? Or if you use different materials? Write notes from your discussion. So you're not having a discussion, okay? Because unfortunately, we are not able to do this. So you're going to just jot a few things. Focus on this question right here. Why is it important to do steps in order? Think about it, guys. If you're doing something that you like to do, why is it important to follow steps in order? Okay? Maybe some of your video games that you guys are playing might have some steps you have to follow. And if you don't do them in the correct order, the outcome that you want may not happen. Okay? So make sure you write down why is it important to follow those steps in order. Okay? This one was a pretty easy lesson. I know you guys have this one. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time explaining it, okay? But what I want you to do is, since I gave you an example video to remind you at least, how to do the TADDW. That means, okay, I want you to do number 3 on your own, following this format. Again, easy question. Explain why it is important to follow the steps in order and use proper materials. This word right here, proper, means right. Okay, what happens if you don't use the right materials? Use details from the text to support your answer. Okay, use the space provided on page 59, so you have to flip 2 pages. Okay, and find that. And they gave you a little hint over here. Don't just describe the steps and materials. Explain why the steps and specific materials are necessary. If you guys don't want to write it in your book, leave it in the comment section of the video. Okay? You guys could easily ace this response. I have no doubt in my mind that you guys know how to do this. You have plenty of experience with it, okay? So explain, why is it important to follow the steps in order and use the right materials? All right. So I'm going to be looking for those comments in there or emailed response, okay? And then after this, you know that it is the independent practice. So this is what I'm going to be looking at when you come back, pages 60 through 65. And yes, you do need to do the learning target, okay? So remember, 60 through 65 is the independent practice. Does that mean that mom and dad or grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever's there with you can't help you? No, they can certainly help you on it, okay? But please try your best. And if you have questions, please email me and let me know. Okay, so again, leave your answers in that comment box. All right, and if you're if you're not sure about something, reach out to me and let me know. Okay, I'm here to help you guys. All right, I'll see you again when we continue on with Ready New York.